Hi, well, good evening, everybody. My name is Brent Givens, and I'm the principal here at Winston Churchill Middle School. And I am joined by Mrs. Lewis, who is one of our sixth grade English and history teachers, and she's also one of two International Baccalaureate coordinators, our IB program. I'm going to do a couple introductions and then we'll go ahead and cover some of the information about our school so that you are more familiar with the programs and the activities that we offer here. We have an additional IB coordinator. Her name is Mrs. Manchester. Mrs. Manchester is a seventh grade English and history teacher. Mrs. Lewis and Mrs. Manchester coordinate all things IB. So whether it's the open enrollment process and the questions that you have, or the professional development for our teachers, the information about our program coordinating with the International Baccalaureate Organization, which is the organization that manages our program internationally. We're very grateful for all of their hard work and information. We also have our vice principal is Mrs. Cami Sliwa. And we have two full-time counselors, Mrs. Link and Miss Brown. And then we also have a school social worker, Miss Diaz, who also supports our school. So we're grateful for all of our support that we have here at Churchill. And tonight we're going to try to give you our best shot at an overview within this video so that you can then come to our live question and answer Zoom meeting to get specific questions that might not be answered in this time. So with no further ado, we'll go ahead and I'll turn it over to Mrs. Lewis.
Yeah, we're just going to be introducing what is an IB education. We know that in San Juan Unified and in our area, we have a lot of great choices for different schools. And so we're hoping to address why you might want to have your student come to an International Baccalaureate middle school. And then our Q&A session that normally will happen at the end of a live presentation will now be happening during a live Zoom. So that's going to be a little bit different this year because we aren't able to meet in person like we've done for our previous information nights.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about our school. So Churchill Middle School is a very diverse middle school. We currently have just over 900 students enrolled. Due to the pandemic, we dropped a little bit enrollment as many schools did with the COVID-19 situation. We typically run just under 1,000 in a traditional year. We have a number of different programs, and I'll highlight some of those right now. So we have our advanced or accelerated program, which is the IB Diplomat program. Students that enroll through that do it through the open enrollment process, and that is managed by the Advanced and Accelerated Programs Office. We also have a grade level program, which is called the IB Ambassador program, and that is made up of students that live within our school zone. So it's based on the student's address. We also have an AVID program. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. It's a college readiness program. We have the program available as an elective offering for our 7th and 8th graders. We also do have a quarter AVID style program available for 6th graders in the IB Ambassador program for students that want to get an introduction to the AVID philosophy. We also have our ELD or ELL program, which is our English Language Development and English Language Learner program. This is designed for students that are relatively new to the country and are just in the process of acquiring English. And so we have specialized instruction to help move them along and become fully proficient in the English language. And we also have a variety of special education programs that support students with special needs. And we have 4 special education teachers on campus, as well as special education instructional assistants that support students with those special needs. So that's just a brief look at some of the programs we have here at Churchill.
Excellent. We also have a variety of after-school academic teams where students can continue their learning outside of the regular school day. Here at Churchill, we have a Science Olympiad team, Science Bowl, Quiz Bowl, speech team, and debate team. Math team happens from time to time. This year, we're currently not running a math team, but in the future, we're hoping to have that team back as well. We have History Day, History B, Geography B. We hold a school spelling bee every year, as well as having an FBLA team, which is Future Business Leaders of America. We also have a variety of clubs here at Churchill. Some of these clubs run after school. Others are able to actually run during our flex schedule that's happening this year. And we hope to maintain that as well into next school year. So we have a variety of club options, art club, yearbook club, club live, as well as other offerings. These do vary each year depending on the student needs, the student wants, and then also the teachers that are supporting those particular clubs, either during the flex period, which is within the school day, or after school.
And in addition to our academic clubs and teams and other enrichment opportunities, we also have some of the traditional sports and athletics. We have a partnership with the Parks and Recreation District, so a lot of the programs are managed through them, and that information is available through the Parks and Rec District. It is a fee-based program, so that includes girls volleyball, flag football, our basketball programs. And then we also have a couple of athletic programs that are run by San Juan, and that includes our cross-country program and track and field. So again, lots of options for students that want to get involved in after-school programs, athletics, clubs, and activities. And again, we have a lot of talent on our campus, and there really is something for everyone. We also have an after-school program that's called Bridges. Bridges is run by San Juan Unified. It is available right after the school day, and it runs typically until 6 o'clock in the evening for most days. The Bridges program offers enrichment through athletics. We also have study hall time, other options for students to keep them engaged after the school day is through. Students typically get a snack in that program, and it's just an option for those families that need the extended care for students that attend Churchill. It is an application-only program, and seats are limited, so you'll want to make sure to contact the San Juan District Bridges office for more information about that program.
Excellent. We also have a really strong student leadership campus or on-campus student class on campus that is really the driving force for getting a lot of the fun activities that happen here at Churchill. Now, right now, we're currently still managing rolling out many of these student activities because of COVID, but we are hoping that by next school year, we will be able to have many of these events back in full force. Our student leadership runs our dances along with support from our parent organization. We have skate nights, a fall carnival, rallies that happen within the school day. We also participate in service learning as part of our International Baccalaureate program. Every year we have an annual toy drive that benefits the students at Dyer Kelly Elementary School, which is an elementary school that's just down the road from our campus. We are also participants in the Kids Can Food Drive, and we also are offering a community project requirement for students in the 8th grade year, where they will be getting a service learning experience as a culmination of their time here at Churchill Middle School. Outdoor education is also something that we do have available here at Churchill. I know many times families are nervous about leaving their elementary school, and they're concerned about not getting that 6th grade science camp trip that is offered at many of our elementary 6th grade programs. But we do also offer outdoor education here at Churchill. Our 6th and 7th grade students have the opportunities to visit various camps. Our students typically attend Mission Springs, Alliance Redwoods, and Nature Bridge, depending on the year, the grade level, and the program that they are currently enrolled in.
I wanted to mention also one other thing, Mrs. Lewis, that it's a new program that we just started this year at Churchill, and it's called WEB. The acronym stands for Welcome Every Bulldog, and it is an orientation program that it utilizes our 8th grade students as mentors for the incoming 6th graders. And so we have 3 teachers that are acting as our web coordinators. They put together an amazing program where our 8th grade leaders go through a training before school starts in the summer and prepare activities and engaging, welcoming events for our 6th graders. The 6th graders come on campus before the school year starts so that they really are acclimated and have connections, not only with their 6th grade classmates, but also that they have an 8th grade student that's going to act as a connecting point for them throughout the year, so that they really, if they have questions or they need help, they have somebody that they can go to. So we're really, really proud of our new web program, and that's something that's going to be part of our school moving forward. So you can look forward to, as an incoming 6th grade family, learning more about the web program once you're enrolled in our campus. One of the things that we wanted to talk to you about is just kind of an overall, what is an IB education and what does that specifically mean, and what kinds of differences does that mean for our teachers? So if we look at the IB education, we really think about it as a global mindset with an inquiry-based education. We have approaches to learning and we have approaches to teaching. And so we have some IB learner profiles that kind of connect everything that we do. Those are listed here on this slide, and you'll see that there are a total of 10 IB learner profiles. So inquirers, knowledgeable, thinkers, risk takers, open-minded, reflective, communicators, principled, caring, and balanced. And so we weave these concepts into the instruction on a regular basis to help remind students about that we're really focused on developing internationally minded people who want to recognize the fact that not everywhere in the world looks like Sacramento, and that we have world languages and we have different political groups and we have just different ways of life. So, and ultimately, we strive to make sure that we're guarding our planet and that we're creating better citizens in a more peaceful world. So that's kind of the big picture idea behind the International Baccalaureate philosophy and program. So if you look at this slide here, you'll see a list of reasons why the IB middle years program, and we refer to that as the MYP, really kind of focuses on a strand of teaching practices and learning strategies. One thing I wanted to mention is about the MYP. So the MYP, the 5-year middle years program, Churchill hosts the first 3 years, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. The last 2 years of the MYP are at Mira Loma High School in the San Juan district. So students that want to continue with their IB education would then move from Churchill into Mira Loma to complete the last 2 years of the MYP. And then they would have the option of going into the diploma program, the DP program at Mira Loma, and can graduate with an IB sash and all of that comes with that. So you'll see, number 1, become a lifelong learner. Number 2, learn by doing and experiencing. I would say that many classes at Churchill involve a lot of collaborative learning, hands-on learning, especially in our science department, in our arts, and our visual and performing arts as well. We want students to be critical thinkers. We really want them to backwards map problems and collaboratively work with their classmates to look at problems and how to solve those. Really being self-starters, reading for understanding, looking at the text as a primary source, exploring global challenges, understanding that subjects are not just taught in isolation. So we're not looking at silos. We're really looking at the interconnectedness of our different content areas. And also looking at the world and how the world approaches these different problems and how they have come up with solutions. Looking at the diversity, embracing diversity, valuing diversity, learning about world cultures, world language, etc. And then ultimately, our job here at the middle school is to prepare students for their next levels, to prepare them for high school and for college and career and whatever it is that they have dreamed about for their future. So that's just a snapshot of the IB world as it happens here at Churchill.
All right. The IB also has a mission statement that we make sure we have our students read and be aware of. And we're also trying to make sure that we're living it here on campus. I know Mrs. Manchester and myself, we have a favorite part of the mission statement, which comes at the end. And we quote it quite often, which is that others and their differences can also be right. So understanding the fact that what makes humans so amazing is the fact that we are different and we can have different beliefs and different opinions, and we can all work together still, even with those differences. So again, this is the mission statement, something that we make sure our students are aware of, and we try to really utilize this when we are teaching and engaging with each other on campus.
So again, what makes us an IB school? Number one is we have a strong effort to make sure that all of our teachers are engaged in IB training. So the IBO, which is the International Baccalaureate Organization, has sanctioned trainings that we send our teachers to, and they participate online and in webinars and Zoom meetings as well. They are aligned to the IBO standards, but we also, of course, have our state standards, which are aligned to the Common Core, and also we fall in line with the state testing requirements by having students participate in the CASP. We provide foreign language instruction. We have 3 world languages on campus. We have Spanish, we have French, and Chinese or Mandarin. We also focus on the community service aspect. Again, that is part of the 8th grade requirement here at Churchill. Again, the global context helps students focus on the fact that we are in a community here in Sacramento and in California as a state in the US, but that there is a very large world and it is very different. We also focus on those IB learner profiles, which supports the global citizenship. And then we have IB criterion that we utilize for our assessments. And so we actually have IB marks, or a separate set of International Baccalaureate grades that teachers are trained on assessing. And we have a rubric that is used to align those grades to provide some more information that falls in line with what the IB is promoting. So here are some of the middle year program global contexts, and you'll see that these 6 categories again tie in the instruction in the various content areas. So fairness and development, orientation in time and space, globalization and sustainability, identities and relationships, personal and cultural expression, and scientific and technical innovation. So again, teachers weave this into their instruction as part of the specific content within those standards.
All right, Mr. Givens was addressing the fact that we do have several ways that we assess our students here on campus, which is a little bit unique to other middle schools. We do still have traditional letter grades of an A through F that students will be seeing on both assignments and also progress notices and report cards. So those are traditional marks that families are typically very familiar with. We do also have citizenship marks, again, fairly standard across most schools. This is going to be how the students are participating and actively engaging in the classroom. Those marks would range from an outstanding citizenship mark to an unacceptable or needs improvement mark. We do also have the IB marks. Now, the IB marks are going to be seen in a few different places. You'll see rubric scores coming home on those larger assignments, but you will also see twice a year in the 3rd and 4th quarter on the student's report card, where an IB mark will be also given by the teacher. This is using essentially a standardization of the scores from the various criterion that the students have been assessed in using those IB rubrics. The teacher will then give them also an additional mark on the report card, which is a 1 to 7 number score, which also aligns to a rubric that you can find on our website to explain how that student earns that particular mark. This is an example of what a project sheet and one of those IB rubrics looks like. There would be some sort of task-specific activity at the top. This one is for an essay writing experience. And then the students typically will be assessed on 1 to no more than 3 IB criterion at one time. Each of our subjects do have 4 separate criterion that they will be assessing students on throughout the year. However, students typically are only going to be assessed on 1 or 2 of those criterion per project, essay, or assignment.
So a little bit about the IB Diplomat program. So a lot of times we get asked, how is it different than grade level classes? So again, it's an accelerated pacing, and it has a rigorous instruction level. We offer accelerated math options, and we'll talk a little bit about those later on. And we also have high school level courses, which means that, for example, if you wanted to take a world language, which our diplomats do, each world language that you take is a prerequisite for the high school course. So as a 7th grader, you would take a first-year language. As an 8th grader, you would take a second-year language. And those would be prerequisites so that you could take the 3rd-year language as a freshman in high school. So meeting the required hours in courses aligned with the International Baccalaureate program is what we aim for, so that, again, the last 2 years of the middle years program provides a smooth transition at the high school level.
And I think this might be a good place to address a question that we get asked often, and we never have an explicit slide for it, which would be homework here at Churchill. This is a question that's really difficult for us to answer because it really depends on your student's schedule as to how much homework you're going to see. Now, we do want you to keep in mind, as students move into 7th and 8th grade, if they are taking a high school level language and also a high school level math course, that could then also lead to a greater amount of homework. We do, however, really try to make sure we understand that one of the learner profile traits here at Churchill and in the IB program is to remain balanced. And I believe that our school does have a reputation of having a lot of homework, but I would say that that reputation really needs to start shifting. I don't really find it to be as much of an issue as maybe it was before. Our students are very successful in outside activities. They are still able to do their private cello lessons, and they're able to be on competitive sports teams, and they're able to participate in our academic teams as well after school. So yes, there will be homework, but I don't think that that should be a deterrent to coming to our program. And it really does depend on how many high school level courses the student chooses to take in their pathway here at Churchill. That would be a determining factor as well.
Yeah, and a couple other things too, Mrs. Lewis, is that we really we really try to work with students on organization. We try to work with students on time management. We utilize a student planner or an agenda so that students can keep track of their different activities and assignments. And also, we want to focus on the difference between homework and studying. And that's a really critical piece of information, because just because you don't have a particular assignment that you are working on that is due the next day or later in the week, there still is an expectation that students are reading on a daily basis, that students are reviewing their notes, studying vocabulary, looking at flashcards, all of those techniques to help students recall information and also read in advance for understanding, so that they have the ability to interact with their classmates and collaborate and have deep and rich conversations. So looking at our IB Ambassador program, again, this is a grade level plan. It's a grade level coursework. We still offer accelerated math because we want to make sure that students that can accelerate have that option. We have elective options for our IB ambassadors that they can select from. We are not able to give everybody their first choice, but we do ask for multiple options so that we can try to provide the best schedule for them. They are still getting IB aligned assessments. Teachers are still using IB aligned rubrics. There is an opportunity for students to get exposed to foreign language for our IB ambassadors. In 6th grade, we have a 4-quarter rotation elective that includes technology, art, an AVID style class, and Spanish. So that's part of our 6th grade program. And then we have other offerings for 7th and 8th grade. Again, that's part of our IB Ambassador program, which is our grade level program for students that are living within our zone.
All right, here at Churchill, you're going to see courses with a few different labels because we are using the labels of a traditional San Juan class. For example, if I'm teaching an English course, I'm probably going to refer to it as English, but in the IB program, it's also referred to as language and literature. So you might see that verbiage on some of our rubrics as well. Students also will have individuals and societies, something that you might know as history or social studies, mathematics, the sciences, physical and health education, the arts, design, language acquisition, which is French, Chinese, and Spanish at our campus currently. Language acquisition is something that students are able to experience in the Diplomat program. In sixth grade, they are going to experience a 12-week rotation. So the sixth grade wheel is going to look a little different. They're running more on a trimester schedule, not our traditional quarter system. That's where they get to learn about the cultures. They get to meet the teachers of each of those world languages and get to essentially make a really educated choice when they go into seventh grade as to which language that they are hoping to pursue in the rest of their time here at Churchill and also high school. For seventh and eighth grade students, they are taking high school level courses, as we mentioned before. We do have limited seats in each of those courses, so we really do try to make sure students get the course that they are hoping to take. But again, we always ask students what their second and third choices for their language for seventh and eighth grade. When you start taking a language in seventh grade, we do encourage students to continue on with that same language for their eighth grade year as well, so they can get that second high school year requirement taken care of. And as we mentioned before, students who successfully pass both year 1 and 2 of their world language here at Churchill will then start as a level 3 student or taking essentially a junior level class as freshmen at their chosen high school. Electives here on campus. For sixth graders, we have band, art, and choir. Our seventh grade students have the option to take drama, band, student leadership, advanced art, and choir. Eighth grade students also have technology, band, choir, BTV, student leadership, advanced art. Our electives are always something that the options are going to look a little bit different each year depending on staffing, student choice, but this just gives you a glimpse of what electives can look like here at Churchill.
So here's a look at our default math pathway. This is the traditional path, which is based on your grade level. So we have a sixth grade math course, a seventh grade math course, and an eighth grade math course. But we do offer 2 acceleration options, and we use an assessment to help our teachers make a determination about the appropriate math level. So the first acceleration option is that a student would take Math 6 as a sixth grader, and then they would take an accelerated math class for their seventh grade year. Accelerated Math 7 is virtually 2 years of math squeezed into 1 year. So it includes Math 7 and Math 8, so that as an eighth grader, they can take the IM1, which is Integrated Math 1 course. So that's option number 1. The second option is that they would come in as a sixth grader into the Accelerated Math 7 course, which again is 2 years of math squeezed into 1 year, Math 7, Math 8. Then they would go on to take Integrated Math 1 as a seventh grader, and then be eligible for Integrated Math 2 as an eighth grader. So our math department chair this year is Mrs. Cower, and she will be with us on our Q&A live Zoom session if you have questions about math. But we use a variety of data points to help us determine a student's readiness. The Accelerated Math 7 is really a challenging course. And again, it's not something that we typically allow students to skip over in terms of getting into an IM1 class, because those 2 years of math, it's a very rigorous year for them, and we want to make sure that they have the foundation to be successful. IM1 is the freshman high school math course that is the grade level course. So in this model for option 2, what you see is a seventh grader taking a ninth grade level math course and an eighth grader taking a sophomore level math course.
All right, so we are going to be inviting our interested students to come to our visitation days. We are able to host visitation days this year. We were unable to last year. Those will be taking place November 3rd and 4th. However, they will be an all outdoor tour of our campus. We at this time are not able to have large numbers of students touring our campus and coming through all of our classrooms due to COVID. But this will still give students a chance to come onto campus, take a quick tour, get a feel for what it's like to be here at Churchill. We do also still have our tour recording available. It can be found on our website or at the link seen here on the screen. And that was something that we recorded during COVID, but it allows students to kind of take the time to walk the campus with some former students of ours and to still kind of help themselves get orientated with our campus.
So there is the application window that is happening October 1st through November 14th, this school year, 2021. There's been some revisions to the application process. All students must apply, and the district enrollment commitment letters are due by January 21st. So students that apply will be receiving a letter from San Juan Advanced and Accelerated Programs Office. Once you receive that letter, you would need to get that to the district office by January 21st at 4 p.m. Late letters are not accepted, and so it's very important that if you make a decision to enroll into Churchill, that you submit that letter by January 21st at 4 p.m. So last but not least, you can certainly communicate with the Advanced and Accelerated Programs Office for any questions about eligibility, et cetera. You can email them at accelerated@sanjuan.edu. You can also visit the Accelerated Programs website, which has lots of information, and it includes the timeline and all the steps and processes, et cetera. And then finally, the IB application is available on San Juan's website, www.sanjuan.edu/IB app. So again, the information here on the screen is available for you to take a look at. You'll probably get a lot of your questions answered if you look at that, but then we are also available for any questions and to help answer things that maybe are burning questions that just didn't get answered here or on our live Zoom. So my address is listed. Also, our two IB coordinators, Kristen Manchester and Lindsay Lewis, and we would certainly answer your questions or point you in the right direction.
Thank you so much. We hope to see you soon.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Take care.